This is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hello, this is Russell from and you're listening to Capes Lunatics Side Podcast.
How'd you manage to get that?
That's that old one, man. I won't get. Never mind. Anyway, all right. Welcome back to another episode. She's a little bit salty.
He's a whole lot of petty.
And we are, with our powers combined, we are salty and petty.
Riding with you with all your Gen X and millennial reminiscence.
I am Phil. That is Lilith. Because I saw something on Twitter the one time. Someone was complaining about some podcast they were listening to, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the host dove right in. They didn't introduce themselves, and it was just like this person's like, it was my first episode. I didn't know what the hell was going on." And I was like, "Wait a minute."
It's your fault for not doing research.
I know. I was like, "Wait a minute."
Wait, I forget how mainstream podcasts are. Just mini side rant. I remember back in the day, you have to explain what a podcast was and all that stuff.
I know.
And so, it was very much niche, very much a special interest, and now people just
Oh yeah, and
everywhere. People on YouTube have it. And
oh yeah, did you watch Night Court this week? Yeah, the one woman.
No, I gave it the one episode.
Well, they were talking about a woman who had a podcast, like a famous podcast or something. So it's basically hit the mainstream now.
Yeah.
Just every so.
Wait, it's not mainstream unless SVU has an episode about it.
Does
SVU have an episode about podcasting?
It's been a few years, but I thought they did something with a podcast. Yeah.
I don't mean like John Imus. I mean like just standard running because those are like talking heads back from the radio days, Sirius XM, Howard Stern. I mean like murder podcast, something like that. Two gals just talking about murder.
Oh yeah, they did because like that old creepy, was he like a college professor that slept with Olivia when she was 17? That's like he had the
victim, baby girl, you're a victim.
Yeah, and he had the podcast that like helped solve like crimes and
cold
stuff.
Cases,
yeah.
Because that was the thing for God forever.
Lilith, come on, what haven't the SVU or the Simpsons touched on?
That's what I mean though. Like that. And Simpsons has at least 5 episodes about podcasters. Barton, Homer do the whole how to become a successful podcaster in 30 days. That whole thing. It was giving very much Casey Neistat, but that's none of my business. But
Why did your eye drift over to my box?
But speaking of like murder mysteries, cold cases, I think that's a good segue into our topic today, maybe.
Yes, the Scream movie franchise, because yes, Scream 6 is set to premiere here. I'm always
that's how I feel.
After like the second one, especially after the third one, I'm like, man, we're still doing this.
See, the third was perfect, right? Because it's like, a trilogy.
Yeah, you get it. I mean, remember back
then. But then it's like the fourth one, you can see it because, it's that twist. Maybe Sidney could die, but we all know Sidney can't die because of the things that Kevin Williamson and Wes Craven set forth. That basically Sidney is the ultimate final girl and she will never die in the Scream franchise. So, like, all the fake outs, all of that. But, like, in the fourth one, you thought, well, maybe they don't want to make anymore,
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing. So yeah, like, if you're a fan of horror movies and Scream isn't like in your at least top 5 franchises, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Maybe you don't like meta commentary, but I feel like all horror to some extent is a metaphor on the modern day in which they take place, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded, but like I remember watching the first one when it came out, and I was like, "Oh, cool," So
I can't. 96, like I was in elementary school.
96, yeah, that's when I graduated high school. Yeah, that so.
It blew my mind thinking back, and then Scream was my special interest for a really long time. The fourth one, the fifth one, the fourth one is when I really had it. Like I was just
Yeah, but I remember the first one. It was big because like
It's iconic.
a bunch of us went to see it at the theaters, and then I think when did that come out? Because it was it that Halloween or the next Halloween? Yeah, we were watching that at a party and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I rented this at Blockbuster at one point in time. That's how old this movie is.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not saying anything. I think I rented the first season of Lost at Blockbuster. Yeah. Blockbuster hung in there with tooth and nail for quite a while in a lot of places.
Around here it was either Blockbuster or
Hollywood Video.
Hollywood Video, yes. It was
Hollywood Video. No tea, no shade. Hollywood Video, it had that cheap ass, probably like Mario's Pizza next. I feel like every Hollywood pizza had like a Mario's pizza next to it or some like really bad local pizza spot. I don't know what it was.
sometimes, but in this case, it was
Papa Murphy's the worst. No, I mean unless they want to sponsor.
one. The Hollywood Video was my go-to because one, it was right next door to the McDonald's I worked at.
Okay, 2 birds, 1 stone.
And two, my buddy worked there. My buddy worked there, so he could like set stuff aside when it came in. We're like, hey, let's watch this, okay? And then once someone returned it, he set it aside.
Hey man, don't forget to set aside Spider-Man 1.
Like it was. Oh, this is like before that. Yeah, and it was like Scream and stuff like that.
Oh man, I love the first one. Absolutely, it's one of Wes Craven's absolute masterpieces. But it also really put Kevin Williamson on the map. I love him as a director and a writer. Like if you're a CW fan, then you know that he basically was the showrunner for the first 3.5 seasons of The Vampire Diaries, which was super successful before he left. Joey Pleck ran it into the ground without him. So, no, and like he's a really good writer. Like he also did that one TV show Cult with Kevin Bacon, which was actually supposed to be. Is it supposed to be Scream 3 or Scream 4? I think it's supposed. It was basically he pitched the idea of Cult as Scream 3, which is basically like a bunch of people. If you don't know the TV show, it's like basically this serial killer who like basically Manson, but like he has a sick fetish for like Edgar Allan Poe, right? And so it's like all these people running around doing his bidding. It's a really good show, but weird and kind of complicated. And of course, it was on Fox, so aired out of order, and they don't know how to treat a good high concept TV show to save their life. So yeah, it was a whole mess, but the premise was really good, and yeah, so like I just remember that was like a big controversy. It was like, oh, well, you guys don't want to do my script. Well, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. And you know, when Kevin left, it didn't feel like Scream. And now that Wes Craven, of course, has passed away, may he rest in power, it really, I don't know why the franchise made a resurgence. It just feels like a cash grab. It really does. Scream 5 felt like a cash grab. Like, be so serious. We need the money. Gimme.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the first one, it was like, oh, cool. It's like a, it's meta commentary on, like, all these horror movies.
Who else could do meta commentary other than Wes Craven?
Yeah. But then by the time you get to 3, the 4, you're like, oh, let's just become another one of these franchises.
Yeah, if somebody tells you that 3 is their favorite Scream movie, run. That's a red flag. If they say 4 is their favorite movie, red flag. I will give them the benefit of the doubt if they liked 5. Maybe they're young.
Oh my god, we're gonna have like the 8-page resume like men have to fill out before they date you. It's like who would
literally 250 questions.
Okay,
250 questions on a Google Doc. Okay. I don't have time.
Okay, Sheldon.
Bazinga!
It's to weed out the animals, man. Like I don't have time for it. If you're uncultured, just say that.
Can Hulk beat Superman?
That's not the first question. That's sprinkled down there somewhere. Just as like a ha funny, but little do they know, it's a serious question.
What are your thoughts on the Fast and Furious franchise?
Yeah. Who did you side with in the Fast and Furious scandal? Vin Diesel or The Rock? I need to know.
What are your thoughts on The Rock?
It depends on how old they are. If they remember him as a wrestler, they are steadfast fans. There's no deterring them, unless you're me, because I can change and pivot with the times when new information comes about.
Question 57. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
No. Actually, the most telling question for The Rock is like, what is your favorite Rock movie? And if it's not The Tooth Fairy, I'm sorry, we can't talk. We can't be friends. That's his best movie. Or Get Shorty. Or no, what is it? Be Cool. Yeah, it's Be Cool. Those two are his best movies.
What is your favorite Rock? Hair or no hair?
Neither.
Oh!
Burn. Either way, it's not a good look. But anyway.
Yeah.
But I think Scream pissed a lot of people off because, it's like, oh, we're promoting Drew Barrymore. And it's like, well, y'all better be glad because Wes Craven didn't even want to do it until she came on board.
I know, it's so weird. Then you kill her off after the first scene.
Like that was so iconic. It's like, oh, we've gotten bait and switch. And I'm like, did they necessarily need to do that? Because Neve Campbell, coming off a Party of Five, was a power in the craft was a power unto herself at that point. So it was kind of interesting the route that they went because, like, Drew Barrymore, no tea, no shade, she's one of my faves, but she was still a little long in the tooth to be, playing a teenager.
Yes, a teenager.
And she lived a long, hard, rough life that she, that's no secret. So it was an interesting choice to say the least.
So is that the reason maybe we kill her off after the first couple minutes? Because it's like, I think
it was shock factor. Definitely the bait and switch. They couldn't get away with that these days with the bait and switch trailer like that.
Yeah, but 5-10 minutes of her playing a teenager, okay, but 2 hours of her pretending to be.
It's horror. Let's be real. Jamie Lee Curtis is a teenager in Halloween. Another one of my queens, but I'm gonna be real with you. Not believable.
Talk about a franchise that's getting beat into the ground.
Smashed and laid to rest. May they never touch it again.
I mean, what? I mean, since the 70s? Is it really?
When you have a 20th anniversary for your your film franchise, Halloween Age short, maybe you just go ahead and lay it to rest right then and there.
I mean, when the character is supposed to be a teenager when it starts, and now she's like a gray-haired woman.
She's literally retired. She's getting her pension. Enough's enough. And that's how I feel about Scream at this point, quite honestly. And I don't know if I would feel that way if if Wes Craven was still alive and Kevin Williamson didn't depart the franchise, because I feel like that collaboration is really what made everything.
Yeah. Oh, but that's the other thing. You were saying Neve Campbell. Why did we have to bring in Drew Barrymore? Courtney Cox. The first one is at the height of Friends.
It was the bangs. It was like, ooh.
Yeah, but again, it's
Courtney, baby, no.
That's like 2-3 years in the Friends.
Honestly, the market that they were going for, like, I don't know.
Or maybe they thought they could bring it.
Friends was very much an old people.
Well, I was gonna say maybe they thought they could bring in an older crowd with Courtney Cox.
Maybe. Now the real eyebrow raiser was David.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
it's like that's an interesting casting choice you made there. Also, like, I was not surprised to Jamie Kennedy. He wasn't a surprise for me.
Oh, okay.
Casting. He was hot. If you watch the WB in the mid to late 90s, he had the Jamie Kennedy experiment. He goes on to hook up with Jennifer Love Hewitt. How, I don't know. His schlong must be ginormous. Like, they were together for a while. So much so she even put him in the Ghost Whisperer. So I'm just saying.
I don't know, man. She has a weird type. Him, Carson Daly. I'm like, okay.
As somebody who's met Carson Daly in person, he's actually a pretty cool dude. So he's got the Riz.
He's got Riz. Wait. Could Carson Daly get it?
No.
Oh, okay.
A, he plays golf, and B, he wanted to be a priest. 2 hard passes for me.
But I tell you, man, I love Matthew Lillard in the first one. My mom's gonna be so mad at me.
Nobody said you killed them. It's like, ooh, watching it back in retrospect, you're like, son of a bitch.
I know.
But, like,
it was there.
I could just dissect the psychosexual tension between freaking Billy. And it's intentional, but people deny it when it's literally, they have confirmed, yes, that's what they were going for. They stab each other. Don't go too deep. Come on, bro. It's not rocket science. I could talk about the first Scream all day. That movie, I believe they do actually have classes about it. Much like Buffy, they do have film classes.
Oh yeah, if you watch that back, you can tell, you can see the clues. Just there's one scene, the look they give each other. It's like they have no idea.
Yeah, and it's always fun figuring out which killer was doing what and where.
Yes.
That is always and oh my god, that has been such a big dissection of the Scream fandom, like breaking down the trailers and like, okay, they show this person in plaid and that person in plaid. What does it mean? And, technically we shouldn't even be calling him Ghostface because the person that called him Ghostface originally, there was nobody to hear them say it. Shout out to Rose McGowan. Victim of Harvey Weinstein and all.
Yeah.
This movie's so tainted now. Like, it hurts. Which is why I'm surprised that they wanted to actually...
Oh, yeah, this was a Weinstein, huh?
Oh, yeah. And there are so many stories about this set, unfortunately.
What did you hear? I mean, what is it? They tried him in California for, like, more crimes. And, like, so, he's never getting out of prison.
Good.
I know, good. That's what I'm saying. They're flying him wherever they can and trying him for more stuff.
Too. Good. Throw him under the jail. Good. Finally. I mean, too little too late for the victims, but,
Yeah. But at least they're not out.
Hope for our justice system, after all.
At least they're not out enjoying their lives looking at you, OJ.
It's so weird because when you think about it, like, was that the meta commentary as well? Because of, the guy that Cotton.
Oh.
The accused. And
mm-hmm.
the rabbit hole just goes deeper and deeper, and you spiral out thinking about it.
What, are you saying it's a Weinstein thing? It's like, oh, no, don't accuse,
Well, listen, one thing about a lot in Hollywood, there are no secrets. There's just open secrets in who you talk about it and what type of company. So, like, and a lot of horror people, they make their shots. If John Carpenter was one of those people too as well that would just, if you watch and you know the tea, you see what they're saying. So it's kind of like a coded message of it all. And, as you get into that first trilogy, you really think about it, like what happened to Sydney's mom, how she has the secret baby. That can be applied towards a lot of people in Hollywood, especially like the old studio system and things like that. So it's just super interesting. Like, if you know a lot about the film industry and you just start thinking and you just want to go on a YouTube conspiracy theory rabbit hole, this is the perfect movie to do that.
Kids, the 90s was wild, man.
Oh, the 80s were even more wild. I mean, without the 80s teen slasher like boom,
yeah.
Scream wouldn't exist.
Horror
wouldn't exist. Horror almost died out permanently. So
I mean the 80s. I was telling Luca a couple weeks ago, the one mall near here, Monroeville Mall, that's where they shot the original Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
So funny.
Oh, talk about movies you can go down a rabbit hole with commentary on.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so like I think like you have to have a healthy I don't know how people are just jumping into the franchise with 5. Me personally, I don't know if that's just like the comic book nerd in me. Like I could never imagine just jumping into a franchise and not having like no nothing. Like, oh, I read the wiki, it's fine. What? Like I mean, I literally heard that as a Supernatural fan, it's like, babes, no, you can't. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to watch all 15 of those seasons. You can't read the wiki.
What?
And much like Supernatural, you can't just read the wiki on Scream. There's just so many moving parts, so much like. I feel like, if you weren't there, then you didn't know, like, especially the original, like, marketing campaign.
Well,
so much of the 90s.
Not to make you feel too old, but do you think with some of these younger people, are they just like, oh, the first one was before I was born, so why would I watch that?
Star Wars, and I think the first set of Star Wars movies are the best Star Wars movies, and that was very well much before I was born.
Yeah.
So, like, ooh.
Yeah, but the attention span on some of these kids these days is a little tough.
I know, unfortunately. I honestly think that well-crafted horror movies are very much a lost art form. Like, it's all just giving A24 right now, and, that's fine. Oh, elevated horror, the stuff they made fun of horror movies in 5, and it's just like, it just doesn't work, because it's like, oh, the Babadook, okay. Another red flag if somebody says their favorite horror movie is the Babadook, by the way. Good movie, just not a horror movie. I don't think people know and like Scream really isn't a horror movie, to be quite honest. It's like a horror comedy. It's not scary. Which is ironic because of course the infamous parody franchise Scary Movie, which is based on Scream.
I was gonna say,
which I think some of those movies are better than some of the Scream movies. I will go on that ledge by myself if I have to, but very much that's how sometimes you make meta commentary. Maybe it's grotesque in some ways, but sometimes you need that kind of humor. I mean, Airplane, think about Airplane, right?
Mm-hmm.
They continue that proud tradition of that kind of movie, so it's just a whole thing. And again, much like Scream, when the Wayans brothers get kicked out, the movies start to suck. So total cash grab, and you wonder why they're still making those movies.
Oh my god, I know you're not watching, but I said the funniest commercial I saw the other day, I guess this week, the Daily Show host is Marlon Wayans.
Oh yeah.
And he was, it's basically, it's like, hi, I'm Marlon Wayans, I'm hosting the Daily Show this week, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, and it'll be good. He goes, unless you think it sucks, he goes, then I'm Sean.
Yeah, there's like 30 of them.
I know. I watch it in living color. I know.
So funny. I mean, you know what? I don't think that's his area of expertise. I think they're gonna give it to I can't say who I think they're gonna give it to because that'll piss people off. But I know somebody that probably won't even audition that'll end up in it.
Oh really?
They just had a live comedy special.
Ooh.
So that's where all our South Park money is going to. I'm feeling like Chris Rock is secretly in the running. It's going to be like that Jeopardy thing. Sure, we'll try everybody out, but we already know who. Doesn't matter what you think.
Gotta calm down after the whole incident. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark my words. I feel like that might be what they're working towards. So. I mean, like I said, I didn't even watch The Daily Show on track. Like after Jon Stewart left, I was just like, all right. And my watch has ended. Perfect. I can go to bed at 10 now. So which is your favorite Scream movie?
I don't know. I hate to be an old man, but probably the first one.
I like the second one.
I
think the second one suffers from it. Kind of came out in that clump of movies where
Yeah.
it was like teaching Mrs. Ingle and I Know What You Did Last Summer. It kind of came out in that influx, and I think that kind of like those were terrible. And like The Fog, I think came out around that time too. The remake with Tom Welling, like all that stuff. Like kind of like those tail end of the Scream franchise, first trilogy, kind of just got lumped in with all that, unfortunately. But I think 2 is really good.
Yeah, I mean it's good.
If they hadn't killed Randy, it would be my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. You get a horror movie finally set in a college. Like, how often does that actually happen?
No, yeah.
Makes more sense. You can do more, have more adult situations, and I'm not talking about paying mortgages.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't that the one like cliche or the one trope that of horror movies they don't do is like naked breasts?
I guess.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm trying to think. I've watched a lot of horror movies. I'm pretty sure I've seen TNA.
In Scream?
Not in Scream.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's the one thing.
Again, and more power to Nev Campbell. I'm never gonna judge a gal, but Courtney Cox would have done it. I'm just saying.
Whoa!
They just never asked, apparently.
Show off those implants, those 90s implants.
Just saying.
That's the thing. It's like
And I was like, why'd you kill Rose? She literally did it for free on the WB Uncharted. Those girls never wore a damn bra.
Hey man, that was a 90s thing, man.
Yeah, no bra definitely was.
Jennifer Aniston, all those girls on Charmed, belly shirts and no bra.
Yeah, like I said, if they would have, I think the biggest mistake for me was killing Randy. Randy was the linchpin character, and it just all down from there after they killed Randy. Now, from everything I understand, they possibly could have saved Randy, but Jamie Kennedy's super annoying and hard to work with. So.
Oh.
That's an open secret. That's not me talking out of turn or out of school. Just if you look at his track record, Google his name, you'll see what I mean.
I mean, it's pretty sad. I think like half the people we talk about anymore, you're like, yeah, they're notoriously hard to work with.
And I don't mean that in like a woman way. When they say that a woman is notoriously hard to work with, that means she's not bleeping that.
Oh.
When they say it about a man, that it truly he's a pain in the ass. Truly, and not like in a Mike Myers where he wants to be true to his artistic vision, just an absolute jackass.
Yeah. So that's still going on. Women, guys expecting women to sleep with them to get parts and stuff.
That's never gonna go away. That's so ingrained. Until a woman actually can successfully puts up the money and runs their own studio and really makes a dent and has successful feature after feature after feature. That's just how it's gonna be. When there's no women around, when it's an old boys club, expect corruption. That's just how it is.
I mean, these guys still aren't worried that that's gonna come out someday.
How long did it take Harvey? They'll be dead, or they'll be in Monaco, or they'll be with freaking Roman in another country where they can't be expedited.
I guess, but I mean,
so serious. Like just recently, we still have people praising Roman Polanski and Woody Allen, and I mean, this is people my age who should freaking know better.
Oh yeah.
So, like, It's a culture, and it's hard to break, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's why I could never go back to public relations, because it isn't.
I'm sure.
Like to throw hands and tase people. I do.
I know, but I'm just surprised some of these guys, like, you know, Harvey Weinstein's isn't a cautionary tale where it's like, hey, you might spend your golden years in prison.
For every Harvey Weinstein and Jeff Epstein, you know, like, there's a billion more where, you know, they have more money where nobody's going to ever say anything.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I could probably throw a name out and you probably won't see me anymore. But
Whoa!
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Who's notoriously a terrible person.
Okay. Would it be a shocker?
I think.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. He played Batman.
Oh my.
Ray's never going to figure it out. He's like, who is this Batman?
Ray's like, if they play Batman, they're all evil.
He was like, oh, theory confirmed.
There's an Elseworld.
I'll say it wasn't Adam West, so we can clear that out of the way. Just in case anybody's freaking out, it wasn't Adam West. So.
I knew that because Lilith Hellfire said Adam West could have got it. So
yeah. See, you know, that's a deep dive though.
Yeah.
But okay, so yeah, 2 technically would be my favorite if they left Randy alive. I feel like it flows better. It's more personal. I don't know that I necessarily like the twist of the villain. I think that's the weakest part of 2 for me.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I feel like I wish it was actually Cotton and he was in cahoots with the boys. Now that would have been great.
Oh yeah, true. Again, it's just so weird with like a franchise like this. It's like unless you make your killer supernatural, then you have to like come up with an excuse for why you get a new killer every time or something.
That is the one thing about Scream, but also that's what makes it fun. Ooh, who's the killer?
Yeah, the
it's
mystery.
It's always totally obvious, which 5 points out.
Yeah.
It's always totally obvious, and it's just like, honestly, I knew 5 when I was looking at the trailer. I knew who it was going to be. I was like, oh, that's Baby Huey from The Boys. Clearly it's him. Because, you know, he's playing against type. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Skeet Ulrich gets hired because he looks like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
From Nightmare on Elm Street.
True.
So, you know, when you kind of know the headspace of the creators and what they go for and the mission of the franchise, it becomes easier, even when they're trying to reinvent the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, now we kind of sort of have a supernatural killer, I guess. Well, 5 kind of leads us to that suspicion. You know, she's mentally ill. Unfortunately, they're going with that trope. I didn't know how I felt about the end of 5. Like, honestly, I watched it in the movie theaters. I just unimpressed, I guess. They killed, spoilers if you haven't seen Scream 5, that they killed Dewey, so that pissed me off, of course. And I'm like, baby, what are you doing?
Courtney Cox is
you can kill Gail Weathers. How about that? She's not. Listen, I hate Gail Weathers.
Courtney still wants to work, but she don't want to work with her ex.
And baby, he makes the movie more than you do. Hate to be that person.
Oh,
like she's not even invited. I thought she wasn't even invited back, but that's none of my business.
Yeah, but she has a name though.
Is she? To who?
Old people. I don't know.
Honestly, I think I was the oldest person in the movie theater. So, like, Courtney Cox can go.
Well, again, maybe they're trying for I mean, it's not affecting you, but maybe, like, people like your age or my age, where it's like we've been watching since the first movie. It's like, oh, hey, she's back.
And she doesn't have a fan base. This is I'm not going to talk out of turn about Courtney Cox, because I don't want the friends to get at me, but...
Yeah, but is it like, Nev's not back in this one, right?
I think she had a season. I don't want to, but she's not supposed to be back.
Yeah, but
This is definitely, like, the last movie was her handing the keys to the kingdom to the other 2 girls or whatever. But I feel like she probably is going to be there, like a surprise ending.
Maybe. And then it's like, but since you can't promote that, it's like, well, who else can you promote? Everyone else is dead, so it's like, oh, hey.
Yeah, exactly. Gail. Like, Dewey was the heart and soul of the franchise. Like, I mean, like I said, it went from Randy to Dewey, and I guess it's like some girl boss energy or something they're trying to, but it just feels so disingenuous. I don't know. And I think my toxic trait is that I actually like 4. Like, if it wasn't a Scream movie, I think that's what really, like, just kills it. And they try to be too hyper aware. Like, when you're a certain age and you're observing teenagers, you're always going to have the hello fellow youth visors on. You're never going to actually capture the essence of teens at that time. Like, you just can't. It's a completely different world, completely different language. It's this barrier that you're just never going to be able to break free from. And it screams hello fellow youth. Like with the streaming in class, like they don't do that. You get your phone taken, right?
I don't know, just some of like the more current franchises. I'm talking 21st century. I don't know, it just has like a different tone than like the classics, like Scream.
It has to, though. Like,
yeah, I know.
I'm gonna say, like, I when I'm watching 80s, like Nightmare on Elm Street, for example, as a franchise, as you see it go from those late 80s to that early 90s, and you know, Wes Craven does say his biggest regret is killing Nancy, right? In the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Like, and they go back and try to spin it and turn it, and that in and of itself also becomes meta commentary and kind of lays the foundation for Scream. But I don't think a lot of people get past 3 for Nightmare on Elm Street, to be perfectly honest. So that could be lost on you, you know. But yeah, like, it's a disconnect for like Star Wars. Sequel movies. Disconnect.
I'll tell you what damaged the horror genre, kids. It's never been the same since Jason went to space, or took New York.
I don't know, cause like Jason at that whole Friday the 13th franchise. Oh my god, that is a miserable franchise. That is like, I think that is the biggest divergent horror franchise I've ever seen.
A lot of it just seems, you know, after a watch, it seems like, what can we do to keep this alive?
And then, honestly, for me, it was when Freddy meets Jason.
Yeah.
Or Jason Goes to Hell. Like, if you really want to like take it back, you know, like Jason Goes to Space. It's not a Jason. It's not a Freddy.
It's like you've lost the classic thread.
What happened to the original plot of the film?
Yes, Jason threatening fornicating teenagers at the camp.
Yeah, it's. Oof. And I don't think Scream has gone that far, but I definitely think that it's just not for people that are fans of the original. Like, at this point, I just don't think that it's its own thing. Like, 4 really solidified the fact that they were trying to go for the younger generation. They didn't care about those old fans. 5 tries to placate them and say, hey, you can hang around if you want, but I don't think y'all are gonna like the way this is going anymore.
But again,
and when I go to watch 6 this weekend, I have a feeling I'm like, yeah, I think I'm out.
But that's the thing. I think we said it. You have to mess with the formula when it's like.
And they make that reference, you know, with the Stab films and how it lost its thread. Like, there's commentary within the Scream franchise if you, the way that they talk about Stab, right?
Yeah. I mean, when you're on your 6th movie.
Time travel.
When you're on your 6th movie and the first one was almost 30 years ago, it's like, you have to
and now
do
you're
something.
getting rid of everybody from that original franchise.
Yeah.
And I really feel like when they made Randy's sisters have like those twins, I really feel like they regret. I think that was confirmation they really regretted killing Randy. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do for the benefit of the rest of the cast, and I totally get it if he was being a total asshat or whatever. But like, there was just something about that character, and then to go on to kill Dewey, who then inherits that mantle of being the soul of the franchise. Who the hell do we have in this new one? Let me look at honestly. I don't know anybody.
Again, probably Gail.
Oh, I know. Wait, no. I know Hayden Panettiere because she played Kirby from the 4th one.
Oh, yeah.
I love me some Hayden Panettiere because I'm a Heroes fan. If you know, you know. Shout out Primatech Files. I think that's the only person I know, literally next to Courtney Cox. Oh wait, I guess I know Jeff Segura, obviously as an Arrow fan and Chicago PD fan. He's there. Samara Weaving, which is not Margot Robbie, Australian, not Margot Robbie.
Oh.
Well, no, there's literally like I've said this before. There's literally like 12 women that look like freaking Margot Robbie.
Oh yeah.
Look her up. I'm not making this up. That's literally Australian, not Margot Robbie. That's how we're gonna call that.
I mean, as it's always been like that, hasn't it? Hollywood always has like a couple blondes.
13 blondes that all look like interchangeable.
A couple blondes in reserve, you know.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the only person I know. I'm not even really familiar with the director. I mean, everybody's like James Vanderbilt. I'm like, no, not that one. It's a different one.
See, that's the thing. It's like
he did Amazing Spider-Man. Well, so it's like in Independence Day. So it's just like, oh, I don't.
Yeah. You see, that's the thing. It's like if it was like pure art, you would make a new franchise, like a new trilogy or something with these younger actors. But it's like
they're standing on the corpse of everything Campbell worked for.
Well,
sorry.
Well, no, we're in the era where it's like it's easier and it's like, oh, you can market something with a familiar name and You know?
Yeah, and it just doesn't sit right that Scream 5 is just called Scream 2022, right? Right?
Yeah.
That just, that hit me in the gut a really hard, just really pissed me off.
I hate that when they just call it the same thing as like the first one, and it's like
Halloween though, you know.
Yeah.
That really pissed me off. Halloween, what was it? 29 or whatever.
And then
they also had the Rob Zombie one, so it's just like
I know. Then you got to be like,
that's how we're getting with Scream at this point, where I'm just like, I don't know.
It's getting bad when you're like comic books. It's like, oh, I have Amazing Spider-Man #1. Which one?
Volume 30.
Exactly. Literally, I looked.
Bro, we're gonna live to see Volume 30 of Amazing Spider-Man #1. Mark my words.
Dude, we're on like Volume 6 already, at least. So
I know that's crazy. I could. There was a time I could never fathom something having more than like maybe 3 volumes.
I mean, we went.
That was like pushing it for me.
I mean, we went 30, 40 years just on 1 volume, and now all of a sudden we're up to 6. Yeah.
Cash grab. Oh, I think that's the theme of today's.
Again, we're in the era of reboots, and when people look back at this era, it's going to be like, oh, hey, it was the second version of this show or movie. It was the third version of this show or this movie. It's hardly going to be anything original.
So, did you know that there is a TV show called Scream that was on MTV?
I did not watch it, but yes, I was aware.
It was absolutely, and no offense to Klaus Taylor of Arrow family fame, terrible show.
Did it have anything to do with the movies?
It kind of did, but the mask wasn't the same. Wes Craven kind of like disavowed it. It was like a whole thing. Like, if it didn't have, again, much like some of the Scream movies, if it didn't have the Scream name attached, I wouldn't be so harsh about it.
But did it have any like connection to any of the characters?
They created the premise a little bit. But like it just kind of bobs off into its own thing. Second season goes off the complete and utter rails.
That's like I've never watched it either, but it's
I
like
binged it and I just it was a lot.
Yeah, well, that's like another one I have never watched, but like I think it's on its 2nd or 3rd season. On is it USA? They're doing a Chucky series.
Oh no, that's good. You should watch it.
Oh really?
It's absolutely phenomenal.
Huh.
Like, better than the movies, but the movies is not saying much. Like,
well,
I never really cared for the Child's Play movies, but this TV show, like, I know the lore, don't get me wrong, but, like, this TV show is so great. It pulled, like, honestly, I like the later Chucky movies, so I'm talking, like, Cult of Chucky, Bride of Chucky, those. I don't necessarily, like, when it's more focused on the doll and not necessarily the family that has him.
Yeah.
They dive into that lore, and it's super horror comedy, leads into, it's very much Shaun of the Dead, those kind of things. So if you like that, then, yeah, Chucky's great.
Oh, nice.
So, like, if you didn't like the movies, that's fine.
Yeah, the first couple are,
You don't even need to watch the movies, to be honest. They set up the premise so well.
Yeah. I mean, the first couple are, it's just like, oh, killer spirit and gets trapped in a doll, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm glad that you brought that up. Chucky is how I would love to see a horror franchise, like, actually progress and age with time. Like, because the first one's an absolute just dump truck dumpster fire, right?
Yeah.
The second one, you start kind of getting into the lore. The third one, we're just having fun with it, and we're still building the world. The fourth one, this is horror comedy. We're leaning into it. We're going to be R-rated. We're going to be raunchy. We're going to have the dolls having sex. We're going to do this. And then to the point where we get, Son of Chucky and all that stuff. Like they figured out what they wanted that franchise to be. They steered into the skid, and they gained cult status with all the following movies after Child's Play 2, right? And then, like, enough, or like 20, 30 years later, they actually have it's actually a critical darling, the Chucky show is. Or at least it was in its first season. And a lot of people, there's a lot of clamor about that, and I think the TV show is really, really good. It's really great. And, when Scream said they were making a TV show, and I was like, oh, and Wes Craven kind of was behind it, and then he kind of disavowed it, and I just watched it anyway, but then I was like, oh, no, I mean, it was okay, but again, I just don't think that it deserved the name of Scream.
Yeah, it's MTV, though.
Scream is just, it is literally just throwing anything at the wall and seeing what sticks, but guess what also sticks to the walls? Poop. So, might not be spaghetti. I don't know if I'm just old, and like I just feel like they've trampled over all the memories. They've really ruined what makes Scream a great franchise.
Again, it seems like we're in that era where they just recycle the name and to push the newest thing. And
I mean, they couldn't have. Like I said, if you know anything about Scream, in 4, when I thought about it in retrospect, I was like, they could never kill Sidney. So what was even the point? I mean, I like it up until that point when I realized, like, wait a minute. anybody who's a true Scream fan knows Sydney is the ultimate epitome of a final girl. She is always, the girl's gonna survive. Okay? Call her Destiny's Child. She is a survivor. So it's like, maybe they'll kill Gail in this. That'd probably be the only way they can make it up to me. And like, I don't think they brought back Skeet Ulrich to do the mental girls thing that she has. Yeah, so it's a whole thing.
I mean, you don't think if it goes long enough, they won't end up killing all the originals by the end?
If they kill Gail Weathers, hey man, I will come back for Scream 7, I promise. I'll stop talking trash about it. I'll pretend like Kevin Wilson wrote it and that it's a good script. It's fine.
I mean, I'm surprised Gail made it past the first trilogy.
I'm not. Listen, like, Courtney Cox is a great manager.
Oh, okay.
A great business manager, a great agent. She is very much especially at that time, and like, she is the most seasoned actor at this point of the franchise.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know.
Oh, especially
maybe that wasn't the case, and she came on board, and maybe she made it a stipulation.
Hey,
if Sydney can't die, neither can I.
Well, you made the point. I mean, that original trilogy, that is when Friends was on the air. I mean, I'm sure she had more power there, too, for those first three, yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Like, I just think if they're going to kill Dewey, she needs to go, too. That's all. That's kind of a package deal at that point.
Yeah.
If we're going to kill everything off about the old franchise, she's got to go for them to truly stand on their own. That's my personal opinion. It's like, why are we clinging to the vestiges? You've tried so hard to say you're your own new thing. You're this elevated horror. You're this new look at commentary. You're the,
Well, how do you feel about...
You're the Hereditaries and the, any insert A24 film here, of the day. So...
I mean, how do you feel about that? Like a horror franchise, or like any franchise, basically, where it's like, where you get to a certain point where all of the original cast is either dead or gone. Should it still be under the same brand?
I'm going to tell you this. You know how I feel. I've just had this happen with Fast and the Furious, right? They tried to do their little spinoff with Sean Hobbs. Everybody kind of rejected it.
Yeah.
And that I think they know that. So they have to cling to these vestiges of just calling it a Scream franchise. And, it is what it is.
I guess. Again, I know it sells more than if it's like, you just called it something else.
I don't know. Like, what is the point? I was like, oh, we can party at Stu Schumacher's old house.
Well, that's
cool.
I mean, are we done with the era of, oh, hey,
I'm ready for it to be done.
Ant-Man,
listen. Marvel kind of set that precedent of the IP is all powerful. We don't, we need, tried and true, IP that's all connected, right? We need a connected universe. But a lot of critical darling. Ant-Man was not a critical darling, and it could have done better. And the fact that it was kind of in the dump month as well was very eyebrow raising, right? So,
well, I believe I
just think the minute that a Marvel movie doesn't gross overall $1 billion worldwide is the minute we can start going back to original IP. Immediately, we're going to go back to the YA dystopia boom of the mid-2000s, and bitch, I am here for it, because I am sick of people peeing all over my favorite freaking IP from when I was a child and teenager in college years. Like, everything has been drugged through the mud, like, Harry Potter, kind of deservedly so, but...
Did we sneak into the rant segment?
I mean, honestly, this is like... I don't know, it was just really something special about the first 3, but specifically 2 Scream movies. It really kind of changed the horror franchise. And, like, I just feel like this is just not a legacy that's honoring that. Again, and it just kind of makes me upset, especially because Wes Craven is gone. Kevin Williamson has been kicked off the project and asked to never come back. So, it's just like, that's what made the magic. And clearly the magic is gone, babes.
Well, yeah, I mean...
We're going through the motions.
Oh, yeah, because, again, the original creator's dead. It's, again, like I said, most of the cast
Wes Craven was the director, and Kevin Williamson did the script.
Yeah.
And Wes Craven came in, tweaked the script, and they collaborated, a truly collaborative effort that really paid off and changed Kevin Williamson as both a writer and a director, and how he would go on to be a showrunner and all these things, right? It was really something special that happened on that first set.
Oh, yeah.
When they sat down and talked about the script. And if you listen to any of like the behind the scenes stuff and the commentary tracks, they did a ton of interviews about it too, a bunch of magazines. Like I said, it was my special interest for a really long time. but it actually shows in the product. So all like sometimes people say that, like people say, oh, Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan are best buds now or whatever. Yeah. That's all PR, right?
Disney's
but that
PR.
was truly the proof was in the pudding.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they come back to do 2, and you just see it, and everything just kind of is smooth, and you don't kind of see the fissures in the cracks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause you know, if you go and look back, you can see them working out the bugs in Scream. Like, you can kind of see like they did want to make them gay, but it's 1996. We can't do that, even if they are the bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Oh yeah. I mean,
did you actually go see 3, or did you just have you only seen 1 and 2?
I believe I saw 3 like once. It's I can't remember most of it. I mean, I remember 1 most of all because that's what I've seen it multiple times. That's the one I did see 2 in the theater too, but I did see 1 in the theater, and then I owned it on VHS. Watched it multiple times. I saw 2 in the theater. I saw that a few times. I'm trying to think. I might have seen 3 in the theater. I can't remember. I know I did see it on...
I know I didn't see Scream 4 in theaters. I very much did not. I think I got it the day that it came out on DVD.
I'm trying to remember.
Gifted it to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I might have seen 3 at home, but yeah, maybe not in the theater. Maybe only 1. So that's why it's hard to remember.
It's really weird because I remember 4 was like, oh, Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson are getting back together after they had their little spat, like, you know. But then, like, I started reading the synopsis, and
that's the thing. That's like the balancing act where it's like, well, here's a tried and true franchise, but it's like as it ages, the 4th one, the 5th one, the 6th one, it's like, are you going to get that repeat business from the people who were there from day one? It's, you know. Are people going to be like, oh, the same formula again? Okay. Oh, hey, but and you're killing off the characters I loved from, you know, the first couple.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, and 4 is so weird, right? It has a really great cast. You have the young cast specifically. I mean, Emma Roberts was on freaking fire. You know, one of my other favorite Nepo babies, right up there with Mr. Harkite, as far as I'm concerned, right? And she's the lead, and she's the cousin. And then we had Hayden Panettiere. We had Rory Culkin. Like, oh my God, the list goes on, really. We had Kristen Bell, Anna Paquin, Lucy Hale. Who else? Britt Robertson, who was a huge CW star at the time as well. And it just was an absolute flop. And it was so disturbing. Like, like they came back together, and I don't know. The magic was gone. Like I said, they really tried to lean into, like, hey, we need to make this for a younger audience. Also because I feel like because 4 didn't work, what happened to the TV series is they actually had to retool, and they kind of disavowed it. So nobody from the movies at all, except for the voice of Ghostface, Roger L. Jackson, like, had anything to do with that TV. So I feel like the total clusterfuck that 4 was, they had to retool that TV show a little bit, and they didn't know where to go. And of course, Wes Craven died in that process, so like they should have just scrubbed it. I feel like a lot of people watched that series, and then they were like 5. And they're like, okay, 5 can kind of like revitalize the franchise, and I guess it might have, because here we are with 6. But are we gonna have 7? It was such a long gap too between 3 and 4.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, look, the first one was in 1996.
4 and 5 was a long gap.
Yeah.
I thought it was dead.
Yeah, I mean, look, we started in 1996. Yeah, we're now in 2023, so.
I think they're going to milk it till 2026.
Oh, maybe.
I was surprised that it got greenlit so fast, honestly. So I almost feel like it was actually a package deal that it didn't matter what numbers 5 did, as long as it was, like, you know, not tepid, and that, you know, that the theaters would totally want to screen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like they're like, sure, we're just going to do this for the sake of doing it.
I mean, do you think at any other point in history it wouldn't have gotten this far? But it's like we are in the era of like the reboots and sequels.
Almost died with 4.
Yeah.
And I don't know who sold their soul. Much like how, like, listen, as much as I love Home Alone, why isn't it the top grossing movies? Who sold their soul for that to happen? That's a dog. But no, I kind of agree. Like, ooh.
Yeah, again, I think we're just in the era where it's just like, oh, hey, reboots. Let's, you know, can we make some money here?
And I look forward to seeing this on Paramount Plus in 90 days. because it's a Paramount.
So. Oh, they're still doing that? And what is it? It's only 19 days?
Oh, no, 90.
90, okay. I was going to say.
I think that's the standard now.
Okay, yeah.
So, like I said, I just don't have any investment. Somebody, please, if you see it before I do, feel free to just DM me on Twitter or on TikTok. Let me know if Gail Weathers dies, because that'll save the franchise. It's so mean, but it's so true.
Well, I mean, again, it's like, does your interest wane where it's just like, yeah, by the time you get to like 5 and 6 and it's just like all the originals are gone and it's like, well, what's the motivation of the killer now? I mean, yes, he's wearing the ghost face
just
mask.
To be famous. But now, to be fair, if you look at the news and if you look at recent history,
copycat,
it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Copycat killers, people doing things, streaming things to like say Facebook Live or Twitch just to be famous. Doesn't matter if they die or go to jail. Hey man, I'm famous.
I guess, yeah. And again, if Gail and the rest of the original cast are gone, it's just like you can start over with, someone new gets attacked by a ghost face.
Yeah. And so like I guess like the premise of 6 is like, hey, these aren't secret rules, these are franchise rules. And if you're a horror fan, you know, like, oh yeah, really, if we're not operating on secret rules, anything goes.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring back all these people, we throw everybody into the mix. We're literally trying to see what sticks and who likes what, and we'll see how 7 turns out. After this is basically a market research move. They want to figure out what we like.
Oh, really?
That's what it feels like, especially when I heard that they were bringing back the character Kirby, played by Hannah Panettiere, because she was like the favorite from Scream 4. Like poor Emma Roberts, right? that's literally her movie, but Hayden Panettiere kind of stole the show from her, and kind of like it's a thing among fans that Kirby's the best thing that comes out of that movie, and so for them to bring her back in this movie, like I said, I really think because these are franchise rules, that's what I'm assuming 6 is all about. That's what they're trying to figure out. Where do we go from here? Should we continue? Of course they're gonna. I mean, it makes a decent profit. Like I said, they don't have a lot of set pieces. They don't do a lot of CGI. Cheap to make. All you need is a good cinematographer and a good director. That's any horror, right? It's usually pretty cheap to make. You just have to have a person that has an eye for it and a passion, and you can literally make something out of it.
Oh yeah, if they think they're if it's cheap to make and they think people are gonna come, if they think...
And maybe that's why they can't pay the old cast, because like maybe Jenna Ortega's money's had to go up, but everybody else is like C-list at best. Yeah,
but when did they sign Jenna Ortega?
Hugh Dancy was like what? Like not Hugh Dancy, like Baby Huey from freaking The Boys. He was like probably the biggest new name, because like Jenna Ortega wasn't Wednesday just yet.
Well, I was gonna say, did they sign her before Wednesday? Maybe the price was down.
They did.
Yeah.
But, of course, obviously, they're going to renegotiate.
Oh, yeah, after Wednesday, yeah.
So, that's a whole thing. Is she getting money off the back end? Is that even going to be profitable? Things like that. So, I'm just curious. I'm super curious.
I know. Especially, like, if you lose, Courtney Cox or someone, they're going to be like, oh, man, we don't want to lose.
She's probably the most expensive person if she has an agent worth their salt.
Oh, yeah. They're probably, like, the most recognizable name now.
Like, kids are fickle, so I'm saying I'm gonna go with Jenna Ortega. Oh, Dermot Mulroney's in this. Poor thing. He's like the oldest person here. Whose grandpa is he playing?
Oh,
he's old, man.
I know.
Listen, I love me some Dermot Mulroney. He plays a real bastard almost all the time. Yeah, like I don't know. I'm kind of apprehensive. I think I'm just gonna go in with no expectations. I went in with too many expectations for Scream 5, and this one I'm just like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate.
Oh Lord, Dermot Mulroney. Maybe Courtney Cox got him the job.
Oh, are they friends?
Well, I think he did a quick arc on for a couple episodes on Friends. Like he was playing. Like
the only two love interests I know from Monica.
Well, no, I think it was something with it was like a Jennifer Aniston love interest kind of thing. Okay. Yeah. But again, he was on Friends, so
Magnum PI. Richard, that's the only one.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah. And then Chandler. That's it. That's all I know.
That's all you need to know.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh my God, no. Monica dated. Oh, what's his face? Happy Hogan.
Jon Favreau?
Jon Favreau, yeah. Jon Favreau played like a...
He was on the show?
Yeah, he played like a millionaire or something. Yeah.
Played a millionaire. Okay.
Well, then she had.
Was that when she was still a chef?
Yes.
I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah, and then but they had to break up when he wanted to like get into MMA and stuff because he was not good at it.
Meta commentary, but okay.
Might have been.
Wow, but no, I don't know. I think I'm too hard on the franchise, but like as a fan, like an OG fan, like been through the trailers, been through the commentary, been on the forums back when forums were just like looked like Craigslist, you know. Like there was no interactive like chat bots or anything like that, no cool emotes, like just literally you had to know how to code to make it look cool kind of thing. Like I'm just really protective. This was like my last bastion of freedom, honestly. Like I said, I thought 4 killed the franchise and I was totally fine to pretend like only 1 and 3 existed. It would be one of those we don't talk about Bruno things with Scream 4 and just keep it moving. And now they've kind of just unearthed this franchise. If you like it, I love it. I'm not judging you if you like it, but let me know why.
Again, you made a good point, a well-spoken point, but you kind of lost me in the beginning when you said hard on.
I don't know. It's okay.
What?
I don't know what kind of show this is.
I know everyone's like, wait a minute. When's the last dick joke? When was that?
Oh no, this has just basically been a rant. Sorry guys. It was a secret rant, so I am curious to know like which one is your favorite movie in the franchise. Are you gonna go see this new movie? And if you have seen this movie and you are sending some emails or voicemails or whatever, what have you,
yes,
let me know what you thought.
Yes, please send us your thoughts. We'll read them on an upcoming episode.
What is Nev Campbell doing that she can't be insane?
Yeah, but do you think some of these people are just like, man, I've been in since
it's easy money.
I guess, unless you know.
Literally, I think on Screen 5 she showed it for like 2 days or something stupid like that.
Are people just afraid of being typecast? Maybe though.
Just bring back Matthew Lillard if you're gonna bring back. Look, everybody knows. Just bring back Matthew Lillard, okay? That's all we want. That's all we want. We know he's secretly alive. We know that was the plan. We've been waiting patiently. It needs to pay off, and it needs to pay off soon. And
then you could pay off that whole Lilith Hellfire twist where you bring him back and he's like all mad at Sydney because he's like, you killed the only man I ever loved. You know, I loved him.
Exactly.
And he only loved you.
He only loved himself. Billy was a psycho.
Well, true. I loved him, and all he wanted to do was bang you.
I'm just saying, it writes itself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
again, it's just like, do you bring the kids in with the same actors who have been there for the last 30 years?
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure they originally made more than Scream 5.
It's a different era. It was a different era, Lilith Hellfire.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh no.
Scream franchise isn't even worth $1 billion yet.
What, all together?
Yeah, it's only at 750. Oh, that's me being generous.
Yeah. But again,
what the are we doing?
Again, I guess it doesn't cost a lot to make, like you say.
Yeah, that proves my point for sure. I for sure thought, no, maybe I didn't, because Jurassic Park is
like a $1
billion franchise.
I was gonna say, like, what's the
Fast and Furious is
like what's the budget on one of these Scream movies?
Let's see. Usually, I think it's like around. I think it averages like
70? Okay.
No, it can't be that much. I think it's under 30 for a lot of them. I think 4 was the one with the highest budget, if I remember right. Let me check. Because I know it's like, it roughly is like 30 million for the first 2.
So if you...
Yeah, 40 million.
Okay.
40 million for Scream 4.
So say, I mean, you say the budget's 40 million, say you do like a 100 million, I mean, they're got to be happy with that, right?
Scream 6 was only 35. So yeah, Scream 4, I was right. Scream 4 is probably the highest budget on a Scream movie.
Yeah, so get a good...
Even that made its money back to... No, I wouldn't say tenfold.
I mean, a good couple weekends. I mean...
Yeah, it's dump month season. You know, it's like that late January to like right before whenever Marvel decides to put out its Memorial Day blockbuster. That whole thing. We get really poopy movies during this time, so. You know.
Well, again, like you were saying about
same thing about how I feel like Ant-Man being put in the dump month. I don't know.
Well, you know what? I think they got screwed because it was supposed to be the Marvels, but they got pushed back. So yeah,
and they're like, oh, we can't actually put a black one in February because it's dump month, maybe. But I was like, but you're gonna let like a bunch of white people beat up a black guy?
No,
Okay.
well, no, there's something going on because they moved the Marvels back to July. Now I think it's back to like November or something. So I mean, they keep pushing it back.
They can just go ahead, break it up, and make it a TV show. It's gonna be embarrassing. That movie's gonna be embarrassing. How much it makes.
Really?
That's my prediction. It's not. And I want Monica Rambeau to have best foot forward, so I'm pissed. I'm pissed she's tied to Brie Larson.
I know those other two. I mean, they could make something happen, but they got the Brie.
Like they kill her off in the first 5 minutes. They keep reshooting it. They keep testing it. They said they want less Brie Larson. She's only in it for 30 seconds.
The Brie Larson.
Cut it.
The Brie Larson anchor dragging the other two down. Oh my god.
It's not gonna make sense if cut it. Just pay her the damn money and cut it. She shows it to the premiere. Why am I only in the last 30 seconds at the credit scene?
Give her the Marvel. Give her cancer.
Exactly. I mean, would it be a little too on the nose? We did just give Lady Thor cancer and kill her. I don't.
Yeah, but that was comic accurate though. She did get cancer. I mean, she didn't die from it, but she did have cancer.
That's what I mean. Everybody knows she actually didn't die from it. Marvel being a little misogynistic.
I know. I'm like, I
was like, okay. Out of all movies, the Thor movie, we're killing the love interest.
We brought her back to kill her off.
So I don't know. Like I said, I'm interested to see what the numbers are. I'm hesitant to go see it, but I'm gonna go see it. But I probably won't go see 7 if they don't kill Gil Others. It's killing it for me at this point.
Yeah,
it's killing me. They're trying to toe the line, and it's like, no, you got to make a clean cut.
Lilith will go see 6 just because I'm sure she can find some sucker to pay for it.
You know, honestly, I do not like to go to see my favorite movie with people. I like to go by myself.
Oh my.
Like, yeah. So, like, all the Marvel movies, yeah, some poor schmuck can take me to see that. I don't give a crap about that. But, like, I don't think I went to go see any of the DC movies with the exception of maybe Shazam, that Rock movie. I think those are the only ones I actually went with somebody for the DC.
So, theaters, hard drive, doesn't matter. Lilith likes to watch movies by herself.
I truly do. It's a great experience. Like, or at least to watch certain movies by yourself. I'm just saying.
Oh my!
It might be quantum sparkly tentacles or not.
It's
still nice to have a night out by yourself. Okay.
Oh my!
I don't think those are tentacles. And on that note.
All right, so next time, kids, we're going to be talking more South Park. We're going to be talking.
No, by the time it comes back, it'll be the end of the season. Damn you, Trey and Matt!
What did they?
6 damn episodes. What am I supposed to do with that?
Oh God. So yeah, so the next time we chat, we'll have what was the one last night? Was it episode 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch it already?
No.
Okay. It's about AI. Chat AI.
I think the toilet paper one's gonna be my favorite this season.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Clearly. So I was like, so what'd you think? I was like, well, actually, they do have a point. They do have a point.
I know. I told her what it was about. She's like, oh, okay. And then she watches it. You know, Randy has a point.
And I never say that.
I know.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk more South Park. It's been an instant. And hopefully by that time, my new South Park Funko will have come in.
Ooh. Which character?
I realized I didn't have a Kenny, so I got a Kenny. I have Butters, I have Chef, I have Terrence and Philip, I have all the other boys. And I was like, wait a minute. I even have the Professor Chaos one, and I don't have Kenny.
Oh my.
I realized that as I was going through my Funko app, I'm like, oh, shame on me. So I ordered a Kenny. I couldn't find Princess Kenny. I'm still looking for that one. So it's the boy band Kenny.
Oh my.
Princess Kenny is my favorite South Park Funko. So eventually I will have to check it.
I'm just waiting for one of those dogs to like tear up that Kenny so you can go, oh my God, they killed Kenny.
I don't have to worry about that with my dogs.
Oh, they know. They know.
My dogs are more well behaved than most people's kids.
They know. They know better. No good food for you.
Exactly.
All right.
Bits and bits.
So yeah, send us your South Park thoughts, your Scream thoughts.
Am I being too harsh? You can call me out if I'm being too harsh.
Or just send us random topics for Lilith to go off on. Remember, email saltyandpetty69@gmail.com.
Don't skip the 69.
Because Lilith would have it no other way. saltyandpetty69@gmail.com. Or the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES.
Or my personal email, looking for a throuple at AOL.com.
Wow!
That's a deep dive. If you want more if you want to get that reference, you're gonna have to go over on the Patreon. I'm pretty sure.
You have to send your resume because Little Hellfire ain't doing a throuple with just anybody.
Oh my god, that's not a real email. Please don't send it. It's like, why are people emailing us on Twitter?
Well, we can't say it's not a real. Little Hellfire does not have that email.
Yeah, and I do not own that email. I'm pretty sure somebody actually probably does own it. Probably Charlie. You know he loves an AOL email.
It's Charlie Esther sitting there with in his robe with a bunch of lotions.
Everyone loves cocaine.
You know what? I'm gonna go see Cocaine Bear. I'm not even gonna go see Scream. I'm gonna go see Cocaine Bear.
The family.
It'd be like Rob Southgate for a change.
The family movie of the year. The Southgates.
I know, it's like, the Southgates. That's the review.
3 thumbs up, the Southgates.
I get so much right.
Alright. Oh my god, that should be our Christmas episode. We're like, Rob, tell us about the 30 seconds of interaction you had with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, we should review it.
That's what I said during that Todd Stashwick interview. I'm like, that's just Rob's life. It's just like brushing up against greatness. Hopefully that'll be
that's what we should name third best.
Brushing up against greatness. Ricocheting off greatness to Rob Southgate's story.
No. And I would have had that part too.
Oh my god! Can you?
I would have been on SNL, I tell you.
Oh my god! So there's a universe somewhere where Rob Southgate is the captain of the Titan. Oh my god! Oh, Rob, you have to write your autobiography, Ricocheting Off Greatness, the Rob Southgate story. Climbing the ladder to the third, the Rob Southgate. All right, so send your thoughts on all of this. You think Rob would ever let us do a roast of him?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what I do every time I'm on Third Best Southgate.
Oh my god, you know what? I would make it an event. And again, all those people from Southgate that never respond to stuff, they would respond to that. I would do my damnedest to get celebrity guest Todd Stashwick.
He could be the MC.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
Oh, we gotta get his high school band members too, though.
Oh, we gotta get Jack. Oh my god, Lil will have like a half hour of material.
His is the special on the DVD for more bonus content with a Lil.
For the second hour of a Lil set. Oh.
Honestly, for his birthday, we should leave.
I was gonna say she's too nice, but I was like, can we get Molly to do something?
Oh no. She has material. I guarantee you.
Oh yeah. It wasn't until age 8 that I realized my father owned pants.
I was gonna say, realized I intellectually outpaced. As I was writing my third published cookbook, he was struggling to get his first podcast book out.
I realized I achieved greater success in podcasting than my father when I turned 6. All right, but
save it for the roast.
Oh, I know. All right, kids. So yes, also, go check out the Capes and Lunatics website, tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. You can find everything there: episodes, merchandise, who's on what show. So tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. It's in the show notes. All right, Lilith Hellfire. Where can people talk to you about Scream?
If you want to hang out with me on the interwebs, I am currently only on TikTok. And of course, you can find me on TikTok at LilithHellfire69. Duh. But remember to like and follow because my content is for friends and fans. Either do the 6 or do the 9.
Only for fans. There's the website.
It's
only
already
for
taken.
fans. Only for.
Look, it's already taken.
Only number 4 fans. Those people who type the wrong address in.
Come on, get your head out of your butt, buddy. Wait. It's not taken.
Oh, if you make money off that. Remember who gave you the key to your empire, Love Hellfire?
Somebody's gonna buy it by the time I think about it again. It's no I'm not worried about it. Put it here. Somebody's muffin's getting buttered. That ain't my business.
Alright, kids.
Hey, we even we let you off the hook a little early this episode. I'll get some fresh air, touch some grass.
Yeah, it wasn't the full hour and a half.
Phil's getting old.
Hey, we love what we do, and it shows. Dick jokes extraordinaire. Alright, kids. I'll say come back next time, but I will not say we'll be right back.
Don't kill me. I want to be in the sequel.